Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Troll. We're going to recap week 14 of the NFL. We'll talk some Browns, talk some Cavs, some Guardians, and we have a lot to talk about. And so before we get to any of that, uh, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. And it's an NFL trivia question. It was the Browns' previous opponent in Week 14. Who scored both of the Titans? Uh, and, or both of the Titans' touchdowns in Super Bowl 34. And I'll have the answer later on the podcast. And right now, we're going to recap Week 14. And as you know, the Browns lost to the Tennessee Titans 31-29 at home at Huntington Bank Field. Sanders wanted to win this game, but Stefanski had other ideas, and Cedric Gray isn't concerned about Tennessee Titan fans wanting the first overall NFL draft pick for the second straight year. The second-year linebacker and everyone else in the Titans locker room were focused on getting their second win of the season. Behind a strong running game, along with key plays on defense and special teams, the Titans snapped a 7-game skid as they held off the Cleveland Browns 31-29. We hadn't won since week 5, so it feels amazing, said Gray, who had a team-high 10 tackles and a fumble recovery. I'm not worried about the number 1 pick overall. We're all ball players. I'm not worried about the number 1 pick. We're all ball players. We've got heart every time we step on the field. Tony Pollard rushed for a career high 161 yards and 2 touchdowns as Tennessee averaged 5.3 yards per carry. The defense forced a pair of turnovers in the second half, and the special teams blocked a punt, with those plays leading to 17 points. This is complimentary football. Big plays in all 3 phases, said interim coach Mike McCoy, who picked up his first win in 7 games since he replaced the fired Brian Callahan. Cam Ward, the top overall pick in April's NFL draft, completed 14 of 28 passes for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. His first game with multiple TD tosses. Ward also threw an interception, was sacked only once. The first time this season, hadn't been taken down since at least twice. Cleveland's Shedeur Sanders passed for 364 yards and 3 touchdowns in his third start, and he also ran for a score in a matchup of rookies. According to the NFL, Sanders joined Cincinnati's Joe Burrow as the only rookie QBs with at least 350 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes, and 1 rushing score in a game. However, Sanders threw a costly interception in the third quarter that led to Tennessee's go-ahead TD. The Titans, 2-11, are now 2-11, had a 31-17 lead with 6:17 left remaining before the Browns scored a pair of touchdowns. Sanders had a 7-yard scramble with 4:27 left and threw a 7-yard TD pass to Harold Fanning Jr. with 1:03 remaining. But the Browns, who've now fallen to 3-10 in the season, missed both of their 2-point conversion attempts. Cleveland attempted an onside kick, but it was recovered by Tennessee's Shamir Dyke, and the Titans ran out the clock. Pollard, who ran for 25 carries, had a career-high 65-yard TD run late in the first quarter to give the Titans a 14-3 lead after Cleveland rallied to take a 17-14 halftime advantage. Pollard put the Titans up for good with a 32-yard carry off left tackle. The third quarter touchdown came 2 plays after Titans safety Xavier Woods picked off an ill-timed deep pass by Sanders and returned it 35 yards to the Browns 38 after Gray recovered Dylan Sampson's fumble and returned it 19 yards to the Cleveland 8. The Titans extended their lead to 28-17 on Ward's 5-yard TD pass to Shamir Dyke. Joey Sly's field goal made it a 2-touchdown advantage that came after James Williams Sr. blocked a punt. Some of the things that happened that happened that game, we expect more from our run defense, Browns coach Kevin Stefanski said. We've got to protect the ball. We had a punt blocked, and obviously not getting either the 2-point plays really off is frustrating, so that's on all of us. Sanders completed 23 of 42 passes and was the Browns' first rookie quarterback since Baker Mayfield to have a 300-yard game. Fellow rookie Fannin finished with 8 receptions, 114 yards, and a touchdown. I would say as time goes on, those decisions and those things will slim down, and we won't be in these situations where I have that feeling like I've got to make something happen, Sanders said. So the Titans scored a touchdown on their opening drive for the first time this season when Ward hit a Manor on a crossing route for a 14-yard score. Ward was 4 of 4 for 48 yards on an 8-play drive. On the 8-play drive, Tennessee came into the game as the only team without a TD on an opening drive. About time, honestly, Ward said. We have to continue to be efficient. I have to be efficient, throwing to my guys open, putting it in their readiness to make the plays. Sanders had a strong second quarter to help the Browns take a 17-14 halftime lead. He found David Njoku in the left corner of the end zone on 3rd and goal as the Titans number 1 with 2:47 remaining. Sanders gave the Browns the lead with a 60-yard pass to Jerry Jeudy, the receiver's second TD this season. Cleveland's Myles Garrett became the 14th player to record 20 sacks in a season when he got to Ward in the second quarter with 4 games left. He needs 3 sacks to break the NFL record of 22.5, shared by Pro Football Hall of Famer Michael Strahan and Pittsburgh's T.J. Watt. I think we were really licking our chops for the pass, and they stuck with the run, and we really should have been focused on stopping the run, Garrett said. Now, first, there were some injuries. Titans offensive tackle Dan Moore suffered a neck injury in the third quarter, and he left in the third quarter. Browns wide receiver Malachi Corley had a concussion, and Njoku had an injury. Were injured in the second quarter. Center Ethan Pollock had an Achilles tendon injury, and quarterback Denzel Ward had a calf injury, and wide receiver Cedric Tillman had a concussion and left in the second half. The Titans are in San Francisco this Sunday to take on the 49ers, and the Browns are at Soldier Field in Chicago to take on the Bears this Sunday, as the Bears are trying to win to try to get the division for the first time in a long time. But this just was a loss that the Browns should not have had. I got to give the game ball to the Titans. Sam Ward, 14 of 28, 117 carries and attempts, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tony Pollard, 25 carries, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Shamir Dyke, 5 receptions, 24 yards, 1 touchdown. Now for the Browns, Shedeur Sanders, 23 of 42, carries and attempts, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. That's on the passing. On the rushing end, 23 yards, 3 attempts, 1 touchdown. And Harold Fannin Jr., 114 yards, 8 receptions, 1 touchdown. And but this was just not. Whoops. And we'll get to the rest of the scoreboard in a minute, in just a moment. But first, it's time now to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who scored both of the Titans' touchdowns in Super Bowl 34? And if you said Titans running back Eddie George, you are correct. Titans running back Eddie George finished with the game with 95 rushing yards and 35 yards receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. And now we'll go over the rest of the scoreboard. I'll tell you how my brother-in-law and I did on our picks. We'll go back to the Thursday night game from last week. The Lions beat the Cowboys 44-30 at Ford Field in Detroit. I give the game balls to Jared Goff and Amon St. Brown. And I took the Lions and won, and so did. And my brother-in-law took the Cowboys, and he lost on that one. I made a mistake. He lost on that one. Yeah, he lost on that one, my brother-in-law. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means he was 6-7 this week. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, he was 6-8. So I stay at 6, 5, and 3, and he falls. So we were not tied this time again, so we have to put it back to a 2. To 6, 4, and 6, 5, and 6, 4, and 2. He falls to. So that. And now I had to switch that real quickly, and I'm going to move this along. The Browns lost 31-29 to the Titans. I took the Browns, and I lost on that one. And so did my brother-in-law. We both took the Browns on that one. The Seattle Seahawks manhandled the Atlanta Falcons, just whopped them 37-9. And I took Seattle and won, and my brother-in-law took the Falcons and he lost on that one. The Indianapolis Colts, the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Indianapolis Colts, who have lost Daniel Jones to a season-ending injury, 36-19 at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville. I believe it was there. Yeah, it was in Jacksonville. And I took the Jaguars. Oh, I took Indianapolis and lost, excuse me. My brother-in-law took the Colts and he lost too. The Minnesota Vikings got out the Washington Commanders 31-0 at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And I took Washington and lost. And my brother-in-law took the Vikings and he won on that one. And the Miami Dolphins just walloped the New York Jets 34-10 at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and uh, and I give the game balls to Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, and I took uh, I took Miami in one, and so did my brother-in-law. He took Miami in one, and let's see. The New Orleans Saints got a big win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a shocker upset. 24-20 at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Uh, and I give the game balls to Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara. I give them to them. And I took Tampa Bay and lost, and so did my brother-in-law, Eric Oil. He took Tampa Bay. The Buffalo Bills came from behind in the final seconds to beat Cincinnati 39-34. I give the game balls to Josh Allen and the and Stephon Diggs. I give them to them. And I took uh, I took Buffalo in one, and so did and I think my brother-in-law did take Buffalo. I believe. Yes, he did take Buffalo and he won. The and the Denver Broncos with the Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium in oh, I missed one before we get to that one. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it was 27-22. I took Pittsburgh in one, and I gave them to Aaron Rodgers and T.J. Watt the game balls. And I took Baltimore, and I lost, and so did my brother. He took the Ravens as well, and he lost. Now the Denver Broncos beat the Las Vegas Raiders 24-17 at Legend Stadium in Las Vegas, and I give them to Bo Mix and the Broncos, and I took Denver and I won, and so did my brother-in-law Eric Hoyle. The Green Bay Packers uh, beat the Chicago Bears at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, 28-21. The Browns take on the Bears this Sunday at Soldier Field in Chicago. I give the game balls to Jordan Love and uh, I think and the rest of the Packers. And I took Green Bay in one, and so did my brother-in-law. The L.A. Rams just manhandled the Arizona Cardinals 45-17 at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. I give them to Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. I give them to, and and uh, and Sunday Night Football. The Houston Texans surprisingly upset the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, 20-10. I give them the game balls to C.J. Stroud and Nick Chubb. I give them to them. And I took Kansas City and lost. So did my brother-in-law. And Monday Night Football. Uh, uh, the L.A. Chargers beat the uh, Philadelphia Eagles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Uh, in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, 22-19. Philly struggled in this one. I took Philly and won. My brother-in-law took the Eagles and lost. So we both lost on that one. Excuse me. I was 7-7. My brother-in-law was 6-8. I won this week. I'm 7-5-3. My brother-in-law is 6-4-2, or 6-5-2. Excuse me. 6-5-2. Excuse me. We've tied twice, my brother-in-law and I. So I'm 7-5-2. We have tied twice. So We will move ahead to look ahead to Week 15. These upcoming games that we've got coming up. Beginning tomorrow with Thursday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons will be at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay to take on Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. The and Sunday we got a whole Sunday football. And the early games, the Browns, I said, will be in Soldier Chicago to take on Caleb Williams and the Bears, and that's not going to be an easy one for them. The Baltimore Ravens are at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Arizona Cardinals are at NRG Stadium in Houston to take on the Titans. The New York Jets are at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Los Angeles Chargers are at Arrowhead Stadium in KC to take on the Chiefs. The Buffalo Bills are in Foxborough at Gillette Stadium to take on Drake May and the Patriots. The Washington Commanders are at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford to take on the Giants. The Las Vegas Raiders are at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly to take on the Eagles. And now that's the early games, the late games, the 4 o'clock games. The Packers are at Empire Field in Mile High to take on the Broncos. The Detroit Lions are at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California to take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. The Carolina Panthers are in Caesars Superdome in New Orleans to take on Derek Carr and the Saints. The Tennessee Titans are in San Francisco at Levi Stadium in San Francisco, Santa Clara, California, to take on the 49ers and Brock Purdy and the 49ers. The Indianapolis Colts, who have lost Daniel Jones, as I said, to a season-ending injury, are in Seattle to take on, at Lumenfield to take on Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. And Sunday Night Football. The Minnesota Vikings are at AT&T Stadium in Big D to take on the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. And Monday Night Football, Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins are in Askew Stadium in Pittsburgh to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's your Week 15 lineup. The Cavs will be back in action on Friday, and to take. Yeah, the Cavs will be back in action on Friday as they will be, I think it's a road game, I believe. Uh, as it's a road game, I do believe. I will check that right now. I'm going to get into this. They will be, as I said, uh, I'm trying. The Cavs will be in Washington to take on the Washington Wizards Friday at uh, at uh, at Capital One Arena in Washington. So they will be playing there, and so they will be playing there. And so right now, Cleveland is 5 games back of the Toronto Raptors, who are in, but they're in 7th place right now in the Eastern Conference, and they're behind Philly and also behind Toronto. And so we'll see if they can get a one over Washington Friday, and hopefully they will. And So and they also and 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 hopefully we will get a win over the over the Wizards and the Buckeyes next game after they lost in the Big 10 game. I think that will be as they lost 13 to 10. They will be in the Cotton Bowl Classic on December 31st, and we'll have to wait to see who they will play. So we will have to wait and see on that one. It is to be determined right now, and we're almost out of time. But I want to do a collectible segment because I haven't had a chance to do one. Uh, First off, I was going to do a rush into my baseball card collection. This is a David Justice baseball. That's one 1994. I'm trying to get into the picture here. I'm sorry. There. It's a David Justice one. There's this picture on the front. And this is all the stats on the back and a little picture there. And this is when he was with the Braves before he played with the Indians or went out of the Guardians in '95. And so this is from 1994. And another one from the other war with the Braves, Greg Maddux. It's a Greg Maddux baseball card. Picture on the front, as you can see. And this is all his stats right there, another picture. And check with you can go online and check with your card collector to see how much your baseball cards are valuably worth. Because they are valuable and are worth money if you've collected them and have as many as I have, because I have over 7,000. So that will uh, But the NBA playing tournament is going on, so the Cavs have had a week off to rest. So that's good. So hopefully they can get the win over Washington tomorrow night. That's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scout Sports 101. I'll be back this weekend on Sunday or next week with another podcast. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.